Attracting new patients is an ongoing part of building a successful dental practice. In this video, I want to go over 5 tips for marketing your dental practice. Hi, my name is Andres Marti, founder of Dental Pixel, where we help dentists build their presence online to attract new patients. The first tip I want to cover is to identify and create your practice's brand. How are you going to appeal to new patients looking for dentists and also keep your current patients coming back every 6 months or so on for further treatments? Make sure you establish a good identity and make sure you can share all your values and principles and how you are differentiating yourself from everyone else in the competitive landscape nowadays. So making sure your practice and your brand is right on point to be able to keep growing month after month. Tip number 2 is to develop a marketing strategy. Once we've identified and created our brand, how are we going to go out into the marketplace to reach and attract new patients? You can either go out and use traditional forms of marketing like flyers, mailers, etc., or you can go out and use the online platforms, social media platforms like Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, etc., to be able to reach potential patients. At the end of the day, these are consumers, whether they're in their house and they get a mailer, or they're online scrolling through social media, or they're watching video online and we serve them an ad. It doesn't matter where they're at. We want to make sure we develop the right marketing strategy to go out and reach those people. And I want to take a step back and ask you what I ask my clients is, what does your marketing budget look like for the next quarter or for the next year? And how many patients are we looking to add into the calendar, add down to the books within the next 30, 60, 90 days? And what does your marketing budget look like? Whether it's a small budget or high budget, you want to make sure you establish a right marketing strategy around that budget. That way you get the most ROI with that budget. Tip number 3 is to build a great and responsive website. Once we're generating a lot of awareness and traffic into your website, you want to make sure it's responsive and mobile friendly. These are 2 very important things. The last thing you want is for someone, a potential patient, to land on your website. They're looking at how your brand differentiate themselves, and the last thing you want is for the contact forms not to work, the phone numbers not being tracked properly. These are things to keep in mind. So you can either use websites, or in marketing we also like to use microsites or landing pages, in other words. And these are all tools that allow the potential patient to digest the information of the practice and compel them enough to make sure they take an action to make an appointment at least. Tip number 4 is to track everything. You want to track everything from how many impressions you're receiving to what's my cost per click, what's my cost per lead, how many people are actually calling the office, and how are my front desk even handling these phone calls, and how many people are actually accepting treatment. You want to make sure you track everything when it comes to your marketing. Tip number 5 is to ask satisfied patients for referrals and leave an online review. This is very important. And whenever your marketing dollars are being spent, it also ties into patients researching about your practice, learning everything about it. Make sure they have the ability to leave an online review immediately. This will build your marketing for the practice, which is very, very important.